Good morning, traders. Today is July 23rd. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. Okay, so it looks like the overnight is 100% net long. They pretty much traded straight up from their open and never had to pull back down into this excess created by the single prints. Okay, so that gives me a clue that the market might need a counter auction to that overnight activity, the counter auction being to the downside. We're also going to open with a gap up. And so the first thing we're watching is for a gap fill this morning, okay? So the market's going to try to push down to yesterday's high at 40, boy, it's messy there. 43.6225, okay? And if it is able to get down to that level and it finds support, that is bullish for continuation to the upside. Also, if it finds support anywhere before getting there, that is also bullish for continuation to the upside. We call that a gap and go scenario, okay? The other alternative is the market trades down to yesterday's high, and then it does not find support at yesterday's high, and it trades into yesterday's range. That is bearish as a look above and fail. Remember that on days where the market opens outside the previous day's range, generally the opportunities to take trades are available first thing in the morning. Taking a short to fill the gap is always an option, but it's a very risky trade. So it's only recommended for traders with a lot of experience trading gaps because the market can find support anywhere in here, okay? So we are getting that counter auction to the downside. Remember that the overall trend of the market is bullish. We know that because value has continued to push higher each session. That is an extremely bullish thing to see. So this blue shaded inbox, this one's higher. And then again, this one's higher. Same thing in the overnight, their value area, higher and higher. So that just shows you who's in control of the market. It's the momentum buyers, okay? You want to generally go with trends when they're this strong and they're this obvious. So obviously value opening higher again today gives me a first signal that the market is bullish today. So again, we'll see what happens when they try to fill this gap. If they are not able to fill the gap, if, for example, this becomes support and we don't go any lower, that, again, would be very, very bullish for a gap and go. But we have to first give them a chance to try to fill this gap. All right, guys. Good morning, Metaterra. Good to see you. Nor Auto Trader back with us. Good morning. Trading Donkey. Yes, sir. Last day for me for a couple of weeks. Thank you for the reminder. I'll let everybody know. If you guys come here every day to watch the channel in the open, I will be off for a few weeks here. I am moving to New York, and during the transition, I won't be able to do these live streams for you guys. So in the meantime, just keep up with the Twitter. Also, if you are a Brigade member already, I'll be posting like written things throughout the day in the Discord. I just won't be able to do the live streams. Good morning, No Futs. Good to see you. Normal. Good morning. Partha back with us. Good to see you. Mizu. Good morning. RK Leon. Good to see you. Philip. Good morning to you. Jose is here. Good to see you. Mizu, Charles, are you... Oh, Charles, you are the voice of market profile, reason, and knowledge. I don't know about that. I certainly have a voice that you all are forced to listen to every morning, whether you like it or not. Shubaho Deep, good morning to you. Fausto, good to see you. Trading Donkey, imagine being a bear. Oof, yeah. Those bears were probably certain this was a dead cat bounce. So it's probably not a nice day for them here today. Even I was surprised by this gap up. What surprised me the most was that the overnight market literally didn't test any lower than the close. If you look at the way the overnight traded, they straight up just pushed higher and never came back down. Every single dip, like the whole night, every single thing was higher lows until the very end. I mean, that's just... It's a bull market, you know. It's just momentum buyers in control. Arthur, good to see you. Cyworker, good morning. Pavel, good to see you. D is back with us. Welcome. Miles is here. Yo, yo. Design Knob, good morning. Phoenix is with us. Good to see you, brother. Partha is an hour drive from New York. Well, whenever we have a meetup, you'll have to come. I'm not there yet, though. I'm still in Seattle. I'm moving over the weekend. Jamie, something like that. Oh, well, thank you, Design Knob. I really appreciate that. I will actually reach out. The Twitter handle is Pirate Traders. Rob, good to see you. Yes, please, let's smash that like button. Let's get that YouTube algorithm sending us some new friends this morning. Okay, so far, it's feeling like a gap and go, right? Every time they try to push down, they seem to be finding support here. So that is bullish. It's also worth noting, a lot of times when you have a really big gap like this, the market doesn't fill it on the first day. So it's pretty common with a really large gap that it is a gap and go. The internals are kind of pulling back in. They always open bullish when you have a gap higher. So you give them a good half an hour to kind of pull back into range, and then they give you better signals. Okay, getting back above the open is bullish, right? That means that anybody who sold before the open, assuming the gap fill, they're likely to start getting squeezed out here. Getting above the overnight high would be very bullish. And for me, the entry on a trade would be getting above that overnight high, and then the market pulls back down and finds support there. That would be a good long trade. Okay, so the market pushes up here, comes back down, finds some support, go long for continuation to the upside. We're also right up against that all-time high. So there is a chance that the market just wants to push higher and create a little bit of excess, and then it pulls back down. So that's why you want to look for support once you get above. Jamie, that is one huge part that I'm seriously excited about. It's not even the sleeping in the mornings, it's the being able to stay up at night. It's the not having like a 10 p.m. curfew. That's what I'm excited about. Yeah, Douglas, I never found that to be a thing here in Seattle. I know everybody talks about the homeless, but it's like maybe it's just because I'm from LA, but to me, there's hardly any homeless here. Like it's like every now and then you see a couple random, little tents here or there, but it's not like LA where they're literally covering the streets. Exchange Place, Jersey City. I'll have to look that up. Nor auto trading. That's a great question. You know, if there's anybody else who has market profile software and wants to live stream it, I'd be willing to have a conversation about giving them access to the account so they can just stream their software. Or they can create their own, and I'm happy to promote it on my Twitter while I'm gone. Move to Florida. No thanks. No, Jamie, we just had this conversation yesterday in the private room. I don't choose where I'm going to live based on taxes or the cost of apartments. If it's expensive, I just make more money and cover it. I choose to live based on where I want to live. What are the type of people I want to be around? What are the type of experiences I want to have? Money is not the important thing. Lifestyle is. TV, have I found a place to live? No, I'm just getting an Airbnb for a month. And I'm going to just wander the city, get to know the neighborhoods, see what I like. Mediterra, yeah, that'll be easier once I'm in New York. Okay, so the ticks are starting to get below that zero line, which is a sign that sellers are piling on to try to push the market lower. So they're looking for that gap fill. I don't really like the 35 contracts at the low. Very rarely do you leave a number that small. So look for support in these nodes of volume. in particular where the POC is from the overnight. If not, they might get that gap fill. Oh my God, TV. Bro, please reach out to me through email. Brooklyn's probably where I'm going to end up. Yeah, so just ahoy@piratetraders.io. Shoot me an email and we'll catch up for sure when I get there. That'd be great. All right, let's pop over and take a look at the queue. Okay, so the queue did not quite fully fill its gap, which is bullish, right? That's a gap and go. And you were able to push your way back up here into this node. So again, that's setting us up to be able to continue higher. It'll get more bullish when you get above that opening price. You're also working your way through most of the two-sided trade from the overnight, right? So as far as like you would think it would revisit 15K, I mean, it's obviously it's a little bit too early to say right now as we just printed the B period, but you start one time framing higher on a gap and go with value higher and a larger bullish trend in the market, and like 1500 is just the starting point. The overnight high is a target and continuation to the upside. All right, let's head back to the ES. No futs. When the price goes out of range and the volume profile starts to grow, how can you tell whether it's buyers or sellers piling on? Real quick, what do you mean by outside the range? You mean like if, for example, it pushed above the overnight high and then volume started to build up? Or it pushed above the all-time high in volume? Is that what you mean? But anyway, I'll just answer that question in the assumption. Value areas. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So this is where, when you're newer to market profile, you have to understand that which I'm talking about, which I was telling you about yesterday, that is for rotational days. That's for when the market is doing this, right? And there's a totally different strategy for trading if the market is trending doing this, just going higher and higher and higher. So in the morning, all I'm trying to figure out is what day is today. Is today going to be a trend day or is it going to be a balance day? So right now, the only thing that matters about this blue box, the value area, is how it relates to yesterday. So is it above yesterday, which is what it is right now? Or is it overlapping? Let's see if we can find one that's, well, that one's almost overlapping. It is a little bit above. So here's one that's like overlapping to lower. So is it overlapping or is it completely above or below? So if it's completely above, that's bullish. If it's completely below, that's bearish. And if it's overlapping, that's like neutral to bearish. It means it, you know, or say it was overlapping to higher, that's like neutral to bullish. So really in the morning, when the market first opens, that's really all you're using value for at that moment. And you're more focused on tempo, you're focused on volume, you're focused on support and resistance. And you're really just trying to figure out what's the market doing this morning, right? So things to think about in terms of that, right? What are the most likely outcomes here? Well, first off, this is a lot of excess created by the overnight market, okay? They had single prints, which means they didn't do any backfilling, and we have a gap. So both of those things are excess. And excess in the market requires balance. It requires that the market balance off this excess. So there's two ways it can do that. It can do it with price, meaning it just pulls down here, finds support here, and then it's ready to go up. Or it can do it with time, where it just rotates at higher prices or, you know, continues to grind higher like this. And then time is telling us that we have accepted this excess, right? And so what I'm asking myself this morning is, how is the market going to repair this excess? Is it looking to fill this gap? Is it looking to pull back down into here? If not, that's very bullish, right? It's very bullish that they don't fill the gap because that means they're going to get acceptance another way through time. So then my next question becomes, okay, how is time going to accept this? Are we going to get a grind higher or are we just going to go sideways? And so that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Is the market trending higher? Is it going to be one of these days or is it going to be one of these days where it just goes up and down? The next signal that will help me to have some insight to that is whichever direction the B period breaks out from the A period. So like, let's say the B period gets above the A period high. It's one time framing higher. So now it's like, okay, I've got a gap and go. So we'll say these are our two scenarios, right? So gap and go, that's 1 point for a trending day. If we push above the A period high, we're now one time framing higher. That's another point for a trending day. If we push higher and come back down and find support, that's another point for a trending day. If the next period, the C period prints, and the C period low stays above the B period low, that means we continue one time framing. That's another check for a trend day, right? So I'm just all day long, I'm asking myself, you know, is this, sorry, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I'm asking myself, okay, well, we're getting a lot of resistance right up here in the area where the overnight put in most of their volume. So obviously these people are exiting their trades here, right? They got long thinking we were going to push higher. Now they're getting scared. They're like, oh no, we're not pushing higher. So they're exiting their trades, building up the volume right where they did business in the overnight. So that's 1 point for rotational, right? Not new buyers entering the market. It's just old business coming to a conclusion. So all day long, I'm just asking myself, is it trend or is it rotational? Ooh, it could be, that's a trend. It could be rotational. It could be. And then once I have an idea for which it is, and that's totally, you know, trading is an art, not a science. Once I just feel confident that I know it is a trending day, then I go about trading using my system for trading trends, which I know this sounds stupid, but it's just buy dips, sell rallies, right? Buy the dip. That's it. Like on a trend day, you just go with the trend. It sounds simple. It's hard to do, but you just go with the trend. Whereas on rotational days, as we talked about yesterday, that's when I just assume anywhere above value, the market will turn around, and then I look for a breakout if I'm wrong. And that's where the conversation about building volume comes in. Okay? I just threw a lot at you, and I'm sorry. But after a couple weeks of hearing me talk about that stuff over and over again, it'll just click. Okay, so it's bullish to get above that opening price, but the ticks are having a really hard time getting above that zero line. So keep that in mind. There's a very good chance that more of what is pushing this price higher right now is these people covering their long trades. Or I'm sorry, covering their short trades. To know that there are new participants in this market who want to push the price higher, we would see that in the ticks getting above that zero line. Yeah, I mean the Russell is selling off, but that's risk on, risk off, right? The Russell is like a riskier asset for traders, whereas the S&P is much safer. So they're just exiting trades in the rut to get into the S&P, likely because we're at all-time highs. Of course, I'm just guessing. I don't really know. All right, they're starting to kind of push it up there, but not quite. Okay, stop. Yes, sir. There's your 1500 on the queue. Next stop, Overnight High. Oh, did I say the wrong thing? Come on, guys. Don't do that. Don't judge me. Don't observe every little thing I say and pass judgment on it. I'm just a man who hasn't had any coffee. The algos that listen to me? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, donkey. That's that's the nature of the live stream. So many people watching, so few participating. What are you people doing out there? Do you have the sound off and you're not even paying attention and you just click over to see what it says at the bottom of the screen? Are you listening but you're too shy to talk? Or I see what you're saying. So you think they're computers? Oh, that's great. Not really, man. Go check out Mitch Ray. If you go to the homepage for the YouTube, you can see that there's a link to his. He's another streamer who talks about TA with Mitch Ray. I highly recommend it, but go watch his streams. It'll blow your mind. He does like 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon every day, and he just kind of runs through stocks and cryptos and stuff like that and reads the chart and tells people. And he has like, you know, 2,000 plus people watching, and it's like his chat moves so fast you can't even read it. And he'll get over $1,000 worth of donations every stream just from people paying in the super chat to like have him notice their question. So that's out there. It's just those people, they like the meme stocks. They like the crazy highly volatile, highly risky. They don't want to learn a system that they can use for the rest of their life to make money the hard way. No, no, no. They want their money fast and easy. And they're happy to pay a streamer to tell them what to do. But that's why I don't have the same activity, because I don't tell people how to trade. Yeah, I mean, I bought murderbot.com. So it could be. It could be. Yes, sir, Chris. It's a process. Great observation, John. No new buyers entering the market here. Oh, we got the ticks are pushing up. They're coming in. Well, the price is going up. That's the thing. It had to work through that resistance. And so it took new buyers stepping in to get through that resistance that was sitting there. Okay, so once again, a gap and go that gets back above its open is a bullish signal. It's got to stay above it, though. Also worth noting, we're going to print the C period in 1 minute. So if we print the C period and then the market starts to sell off, we risk not getting that one time framing higher. All right. Come on, C period. Push higher. All right, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to bid you all farewell. I appreciate you all so much. Once again, I will not be live on the YouTube for a couple of weeks here while I'm getting transitioned over. So if you're not already following the Twitter channel, go ahead. Twitter channel. The Twitter account, go ahead and head on over to Twitter, and it's just Pirate Traders. And I'll be giving little things that I see throughout the market whilst I can't live stream here and there on there. And then, of course, I will make sure to post before I start live streaming again. Also hit the subscribe button. That way YouTube lets you know when I start kicking up the live streams once again. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I appreciate you. And the next time I see you, it'll be from the Big Apple. All right, guys. All the best. Bye-bye. Brigade members, see you in 5 minutes in the room.